So let's see, I pull up Kelly and I say, oh snap.
Show me a market snapshot for Alderbrook and High Point.
Here it is, a snap for Chesterfield Village.
There are 73 total active listings.
The average list price is 2.1 million.
It even tells me days on market.
Wherever you are, Kelly, oh snap, and you are the consummate professional for that particular area.
And it gives you real data right here on your phone at your fingertips, give you the competitive advantage when door knocking or going on listing appointments.
For instance, at the grocery store, overhearing somebody ask about current market conditions in that neighborhood, I'm able to pull it up real time in front of their eyes, and it really is a wow factor.
Thanks, Kelly.
Finding reliable, on-demand training and information shouldn't be as hard as finding Sasquatch. That's why we made it easier to access KW Connect through Kelly. Now hopefully your hunt goes better than the other guys. So if you're looking for an easier way to access your KW Connect account, leverage Kelly. You'll thank me later. Kelly, an easier way to find reliable, on-demand training and information.
Since launching in February, we've seen tens of thousands of agents use Kelly on a daily basis, getting value for their businesses. And we have a new feature that we want to announce called Kelly Snaps.
So we thought, what better place to unleash it than the tech capital of the US, San Francisco, California.
All right, Michael, so we're out here today in Union Square talking about Kelly.
I'm with Jennifer Rosdale, KW agent.
How has Kelly made an impact on your business today?
I use Kelly for referrals.
I've been using Kelly for referrals since Family Reunion.
It's great for connecting with other agents across the country.
I've received several and sent several.
Both inbound and outbound referrals. It's been great for my business.
And have you heard of the new feature that we just launched in Kelly called Kelly Snaps?
No, I haven't.
On my team, I use it myself when I'm showing property to show people transitions between neighborhoods. But I have a showing assistant who is both new to real estate and San Francisco and is able to use it to educate himself.
So with Kelly, you can simply say, Kelly Snap for my location, or Kelly Snap for Union Square.
And what it's going to do is going to generate a market report based off the real estate activity in that area.
Hyper-local market statistics mapped to next door neighborhood data that'll give you average price per square foot, number of listings sold statistics. And so knowing that, how do you think Kelly Snaps would have an impact on your business?
Well, I can think of a couple use cases, Daniel. One, when we're with a buyer out in a neighborhood touring, we'd be able to look up relevant stats about what's happening in that specific neighborhood. And two, when we're the seller and we're trying to get the listing agreement signed, really show them relevant data about their home today.
So it sounds like you're using Kelly for referrals, you're using Kelly Snaps. How overall have you felt about Kelly since you adopted it?
I feel like it's really cutting edge technology and it's designed just for us.
If you haven't already, download Kelly and start using Kelly Snaps today. Smokey Garrett. I'm here at this local hotspot to show how easy it is for people to save money using Keller Mortgage. Hey, I see you're already on the phone. Do you have just 30 seconds? I don't mean to interrupt. My name is Smokey Garrett, and I'm with Keller Williams Real Estate. I would love to show you guys how you can save thousands on your next home purchase. What happens is Keller Williams has launched Keller Mortgage, and Keller Mortgage is actually doing a no-fee loan. Would you like me to show you how?
Sure.
Excellent. All you do, you're going to go to this button, you're going to click Save Fees, and it's going to take you there. They will call you in 30 seconds to 2 minutes to pre-qualify and get the process started.
That's fast.
All right? Yeah, yeah. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Absolutely, it is that easy. Thank you very much for your time, and you guys just finish your lunch. Enjoy your day.
Thank you.
Hey, you want to save money on a house? Your next house?
Oh, hello. While I have you here, I want to tell you that now is the perfect opportunity to download Kelly to your smartphone or your mobile device. The more that Kelly is adopted, the faster Kelly grows. The faster Kelly grows, the smarter Kelly becomes. And the smarter that Kelly becomes, the more that Kelly will be able to do for all of our agents in the field. What's not to love about any of this? Do yourself and everyone else in the Keller Williams family a favor and begin your adoption of Kelly today. Kelly, your business's future operating system. Download today at the Apple App Store or on Google Play. Do you guys need adopting?
I think the coolest aspect of the lab so far has been being able to be in a small room with the decision makers of this company and really understanding that they honestly want our feedback.
And they told us right from the very beginning that nothing is impossible.
Can we do this? Can we do that? And so Josh was constantly, the answer is always going to be yes. You just need to tell me what you want and we'll make it happen.
There's a huge confidence knowing that agents are involved. It's not just something that a programmer somewhere thought was a good idea. Agents know best what kind of products we need.
Going to a lab a couple months ago compared to now, I can see how the products have changed.
We kind of build on the idea and it continues to grow and it continues to get better.
And they're honestly trying to build something that is useful to all agents, regardless of production and age and anything.
Labs is putting the future of real estate technology into our hands.
No other company is doing this for their agents.
This is clearly to move my business forward, and I had no idea how advanced we already were.
Definitely feel like we're on the ground floor, and it's awesome to be a part of that.
I'm doing this like without a sheet of paper today.
Oh my
First
God.
time ever. So
We'll see how this goes.
County expert. All right. Judy, I thought Judy was doing a massage.
I got a massage?
No, I thought you were getting.
Oh, I thought maybe I won one.
No. All right. All right, we're going to start today like we always do with something that you're grateful for. And I know we have two sponsors here today, and I know Tracy has something to give away, so your card will go in that drawing as well. So who wants to start? Kate.
I am grateful that my seller who fell from the attic is not desperately injured, and she's not going to have surgery, and so I am so grateful for that.
Is that your seller you're under contract?
Yes.
So congratulations, Kay. Kay just has a new listing and she's already under contract. Awesome. We're so excited for you. Lydia.
I am grateful because I'm actually learning about Command Connect.
Well,
It's slowly coming in.
Awesome. Well, we're glad that you're taking the opportunity, because I think sometimes the new technology scares us, and we just have to embrace it, because in all reality, it may be a little scary to use it, but eventually it's going to make our lives so much easier and give us leverage. Yes.
However, the one most important thing, and what I'm really happy about, is we have guys and gals in the office that will help you. You stop them in the hallway.
That's what I was just going to say.
Thank you. That's exciting to hear, because that's what we're all here for. I mean, that's our culture, right? That we help each other. And all we really ask is that you just pay it forward. So, Francis.
Well, I've said it before, but I'm grateful for all the tech. Really enjoying Justin's class.
Yes. All right. Anyone else? Diana.
I'm grateful that my daughter's recovering from her surgery really well, so she had to talk about it. So she's good.
All right, Kyle.
I'm grateful that I got up early enough this morning to go for a run.
And we're grateful you're here, Kyle. All right, anyone else?
I'm thankful. I was just telling her that I have my 485-day listing for a lot now under contract.
That's awesome. All right, anyone else? Something you're grateful for? I'm just gonna say, if you notice, this is not the Green Bay Packers or Baylor. It's my son has his first 8th grade football game today. So that's exciting. All right.
My son had his first football game yesterday.
I think I saw that. You too, right? Yes. It's football time.
They won though. Yeah, he won too.
I'm grateful for Michelle and everything that she does.
All right. Anyone else? All right. So anybody that didn't share that has a card that wants to put in here, I'm just going to pass it around. If you don't have your card in here and you have one, so that you can get in the drawing. So there's that. If you'll just pass it around. All right. Awesome. Now remember, I'm using this like no paper clicker. I'm moving into the next century here. All right, so this is what I didn't click, but anyway, this is our quote for the day. Gratitude helps you to grow and expand. Gratitude brings joy and laughter into your life and into the lives of all of those around you. All right, and we wanted to thank our sponsors, and Dan, you're not up here because Dan saved the day and swooped in at the last minute to be here so that we can make sure that we're fed today. So I'll let whoever would like to go first, go first. Go ahead.
Oh, I'll go. Okay.
Yeah,
Couple things real quick.
on the X. X marks the spot.
All right, I'm Dan McDormand with Sente Mortgage. I've been in the mortgage industry in Austin for the last, here, take pictures. 14, almost 15 years or so in various different roles. A lot of changes. One thing, and I just want to say this real quick too. Being in the mortgage business, I was drawn to it because one of my best friends, I saw his bank statements, and he had deposits for 10 grand, 12 grand, 15 grand, and all that. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I mean, get me in, let me in. And yeah, I didn't know what escrow was and had no clue. One thing that I've learned that people don't want a mortgage. That's not what they want. They want the dream that y'all give to them. The dream of home ownership, of having a place to call their own that's theirs. And I mean, it's real. I'm getting emotional. It's a tangible thing. They get to raise their kids there. They get to be part of the neighborhood watch. They know their neighbors. You get to plant a garden. I mean, it's a real tangible thing. It's not just, and I know on the mortgage side, sometimes we lose track of it because we all do 30-year fixed rate mortgages. I have a list of loan products as long as my leg. And, we get wrapped up in the numbers and stuff and, competing with so-and-so and gotta get here. And we lose track that they want to park their car in the garage or in the driveway. Nobody parks in the garage. But, they want a dog. They want a backyard for their dog. Or, and it's just, and Keller Williams, y'all do such a good job of that. And that starts, from the top down. But, okay, and I'm going to tell you about this real quick, and I put this on the board in there. Something that's very near and dear to me. Our office is on 1431 in Cedar Park, across from Academy. The Silverado Memory Care Unit is next to us, and it's an amazing facility. It's incredible. I love those people that have a deer feeder out back. And when we moved into this office in January, I walked over and I'm like, hey, do you mind if I keep the deer feeder full? And the lady was like, yeah, that's cool. So every week, every 2 weeks, I got Academy to donate deer corn, so I fill this thing up. One of my other agents came up with this. We're having a fundraiser for the Austin chapter, the Capital of Texas chapter of the Alzheimer's Association on September 22nd at Top Golf. It's $65. 3 hours, you get fajitas. We have prizes from Lost Pines Resort, the W Hotel, the Nine State, Tito's, Grand Rock Express, Texas Stars, Viva Day Spa. It's just ridiculous, like all the prizes and stuff. But if y'all want to go hit golf balls, and yeah, that's cool. Other than that.
And the weather hopefully would be cooling down, so that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
We were there last month and we
love
still
it.
had a blast even though we melted.
Well,
That's awesome.
Normally it's like $35 an hour, and so you get 3 hours for $65, and you get fajitas, and all the proceeds go to.
Okay guys, I'm Tracy. I've met Dustin previously, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like
Front and center.
that's it.
You're on video.
Okay. I'm with First American Home Warranty, and I have been the area manager in this territory for just right under 2 months. But I've got over 25 years of some type of real estate experience. I've done a lot of property management, maybe construction. I've done hotel management, and just recently was with a competitive, actually, title company in San Antonio. So I lived outside the little Bernie area. And took some time off. I ran away to Florida. I'd been there previously for about a year, and I thought I wanted to become a Floridian. But this winter I rode out some pretty severe storms when I was out on a sandbar, and I didn't like it. So I said, I'll just visit Florida and I'm coming back home. So it's been about 9 years since I've lived in Austin. I was born and raised, my parents, everybody's still here. So it feels really good to be home. And I want to do what I can to earn your business. I pre-shopped First American Home Warranty. We have an extension, which is title, but I don't have anything to do with that. I work with all title companies. And their customer service, their response to answering my emails, my phone calls, and being in property management, I learned how to shop very, very well. And I was just super impressed. It's been a great experience so far. I'm just going to quickly tell you a few things. We now have free seller's coverage, which is super nice, especially if you can convey it over to the buyer's coverage. That way there's already existing coverage. And one thing I love is that our coverage is for unknown conditions. And that's a really big deal if you've got a buyer that takes home warranty and something happens within that first week. You know, sometimes if some of the companies say that it could have been detected, they're not going to cover it. Ours are unknown. And so that was a big kick for me, plus the HVAC. Some of the contracts out there are limiting, if you have to have Freon, if you've got the refrigerant, they're capping it off at $10 a pound. And in some cases, that could end up costing, if you need a replacement, whatever it is, your client $600–800+ depending on what the market's doing that day. And ours is unlimited. We have no
Freon? Yeah.
the Freon refrigerant. Yeah, a lot of them are capping, and after the first of the year, I mean, this is going to become mandatory. So when you see that $10 per pound cap, it might cost 100, it might take 120 pounds to do what they need to do, and we pay for all of it. It's unlimited, and that was a big selling point for me. So I'm going to just tell you here real quick. We also have I'm going to put this in your stand out here. We have a rekey service. So your buyers can change up to 6 locks and have up to 4 keys per lock, and that's just a little something extra bonus you can add to your sales pitch, trying to get them to take some home warranty. And we've also partnered with Porch. Have any of you ever used or heard of Porch? How was your experience?
I didn't use them, I've heard of them.
Okay. Have anybody used them?
So we're actually a partner with them.
Oh, you are as well? Oh, well, so are we now. I didn't realize that. That's interesting. Okay. Well, so your clients, no matter what, they might get double dipped on this. So I've got open house feedback flyers, I've got signs for your yard, anything that you need now with the seller's coverage. I also have a virtual business card, and I'm going to contact you. I'll email you or text you. I'm going to send it to you. All you have to do is open it. It's just my face, unfortunately, but you can open it, scroll to the bottom, and click Save to Home Screen, and I'm always there. You can forward me to your clients. You can order home warranty. You can share videos with your clients. You can also go on and, once you set up your account with First American Home Warranty, go in and personalize X amount of free marketing material every month. Take advantage of it, no matter if it's me or 10 other different home warranty companies. Take advantage of the free stuff that you can. And just real quick, and I'll wrap this up, if you'll turn to page 10 on your flyer. This is our new updated brochure. I got some in here a couple of weeks ago. But our basic plan starts at $405. Then we're going to go up to our first class upgrade, which is $110. And there's a big section in here. I won't make you flip over there. I'll just show you real quick on page 7. When you're looking at the first class upgrade, which would be $515 for your clients, pay attention to the last 4 bullet points. It talks about building permits, what we cover, what we help with, recapture, reclaim, disposal, improper installations and modifications. Say your buyer's bought a home and the AC unit is too small for the square footage. We're going to take care of that. So that's a big plus as well. And limited code upgrades. If they're replacing old appliances and they don't meet code, we'll pay up to $250 to help with that. We've got the Eagle Premier, which is $610 a month, and gosh, we've got great cool fall coverage. I think it's right at $220. You can well pump, septic tank, you name it, just about. We've got it.
So what's the $250? They'll cover up to on appliances, $250 a piece, or for what is the $250?
Are you referring to the code upgrades?
Code upgrades.
The code upgrades. Let me just read this to you really quick, so I make sure I say it correctly. The company will pay up to $250 to correct code violations when affecting approved repairs or replacements. Company may, at its option, pay the contract holder in lieu of performing the work. So it would be per event. Now we have our, just so you know, our service calls are $75. And if we all kept subterranean termite as well, and that is a one-time per contract, $200 service fee. And there's one more thing I wanted to tell you about.
What's your limit on air conditioners?
As far as
replacement.
Don't have a limit.
Have a limit.
That's why I think we've got the best HVAC out there. So it just depends on what, I know somebody that actually she's a real estate agent. She just bought a consumer direct from me. We have a really great consumer direct too. I can talk to you about that at another time.
What does that mean?
Consumer direct is for somebody that already owns their home, like my mom or my next door neighbor, or if you've got your home and you're not in the middle of buying something but you don't have home warranty. And it's about, for the Eagle Premier at the top, it's about $636 a year. It's fantastic. Well, she had less than a week, and her coil started leaking, her downstairs AC, and she just got it replaced. They had to order a couple of parts. It took them about 4 days. but it was done.
Also, how about contractors? How are you doing with your contractors?
We're doing really well. Now, we have a lot of contractors that have been with us for a very long time. I know you guys, I've talked to you about it after the class. I'm gonna hang out for a little bit.
What's the problem?
I'll tell. We've had, since I've been aboard, I've had a lot of success, and I mean to tell you, I'm on it. I've got a regional I can go directly to. You guys file a claim, your clients file a claim, reach out to me, let me know, and I'm with my service partner every morning doing follow-ups, and that way it's not kind of lost in limbo for 3 or 4 days. And I'm there for you. Guys, I'm going to be here after your class, so if you have any questions, just come and find me. We'll have some lunch with you. Thank you.
So
Bye.
fast.
You have like 2 seconds.
2 seconds. I didn't even tell you the other reason I'm here. Since they were doing a 1.5% lender credit on new construction spec or build, they can buy the rate down, upgrades. That's it.
All right. Do we have any guests here today? Any guests? Moving on. Okay. So we have a couple things on the calendar for, well, that are not on the calendar for next month, but we have 2 requests to be on the calendar next month, and one is to have like a movie night here at the office. And I'm going to show you the trailer for the movie that we're going to watch, and I'm going to preface this by saying there is some language. So if you have a problem, not in the trailer, in the movie. So if you have a problem with language in the movie, you might not want to come to watch it. And then also, so we got a movie request, and then we're also having, for those of you that don't know, we have acquired a foosball table that lives upstairs now.
Oh my God.
And we will be having a foosball tournament sometime next month, to be determined soon, so just stay tuned for that. But this quality of this trailer is not good because this is an old movie, so just bear with me. But we're gonna watch a little clip of a request that, has anybody heard of the movie Glengarry Glen Ross? Okay, well, here we go. Maybe, if I know how to work.
Let me have your attention for a moment. Put that coffee down. Let's talk about something important. Because we're adding a little something to this month's sales contest. As you all know, first prize is a Cadillac Eldorado. You will see second prize. Second prize is Citizen. Third prize is you're fired. Stand up and strike back. Somebody, introduce something to them. How is this concert? Yes. What can we do? I gotta tell you, I'm ready to do that. I know what I'll do. I'll go out and rob everybody blind and go to Argentina. You think you're a thief? You're just talking. We are? Yeah, we're just speaking about it. Speaking about it's an idea. We're not actually talking about it. No, it's a robbery. And a robbery? No. And what is it we're so afraid of? Oh, yeah, you need a little boost. Tonight is the thing. So be it. What happened? What happened? We had a slight burglary. Criminals come and they steal the phones. They stole the phones, they stole the... you robbed the office. Oh, sure, I robbed the office. Oh, sure. You did that? Get out of here. How can you talk to me that way? Are you talking to me? I talk to the police. I get nervous. You know who doesn't? Oh, thieves. What's your name? Al Pacino, Jack Lemmon, Alec Baldwin, Ed Harris, Alan Arkin, from the Pulitzer Prize winner, Glengarry Glen Ross. This is how we keep score, Bobby.
It's old. Yeah, it's old. But anyway, so look for that. Well, as soon as we know where it's going to land on the October calendar, we'll probably do like a after hours, happy hour, popcorn, I don't know, something like that. So just keep your eyes open for that. All right. So coffee is closed. Yeah, that they didn't say that though. So they just said put that coffee down. Yeah, I had to go through quite a few trailers to find one that was going to work. So that didn't have. Some of them had language in them, and I wasn't going to show that. So. Okay, so this is the calendar, obviously. So today, right after the team meeting, Bruce is doing a command class. So if you need to hang out, if you haven't got your DocuSign connected to command, or you have any other command questions, he will be here to help you with that. All right, and then tomorrow we have ALC committee meetings. Nevada's doing for sale by owner and expired peer group. And then Bruce has another command class at 10:30. So if you haven't seen, there's like kind of a theme that we have like about 3 command classes a week just to give you guys opportunity to come in and learn what you need to learn. Okay, and then Thursday, Greg has a private class, so we don't have anything on the calendar for Thursday. Friday, Bruce again at 10 a.m. And then at 1 o'clock on Friday, I'm actually not going to be in the office Thursday and Friday because I have to be at Market Center Financials at KWRI. But someone will be teaching the 0 to 2 transactions, and there will be content. I don't know what that is yet, but I'll know by the end of the day. So, and then we have our labs happy hour on Friday at 3. So we show that, for those of you who don't know what that is, we show the live stream straight from KWRI. It gives you kind of what the latest updates are, and then there's usually some beer and wine, and it's just, we just kind of hang out. So,
Come
all
hang
right.
out, drink some beer, and have fun.
Yeah, and then on Saturday we have phone duty training if that's something you're interested in and you haven't done that yet. And then on Monday, wait, is that Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. And then on Monday we have another Bruce command class.
It's all about Bruce.
That's right. So, and then don't forget, for those of you that don't know, right before team meeting, Dustin does his marketing class at 10 a.m. right before team meeting. So make sure you come early for that. All right. Any questions about the calendar?
Yeah, what's in pink?
What's the question?
What's in pink? Oh, that's the bowling tournament.
Oh.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, we've got 5 bowling teams from KW Round Rock in the WC Realtors golf bowling tournament on next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow. So it's a tree pack event. So it's going to be at Mel's from 2:30 to 5:30. So if you're not bowling and you want to come by and have a good time, then we would love the support, because not only do we have 5 teams at the bowling tournament, I don't even know, I think there's only like 12 teams. We're having an inter-office tournament as well among our 5 teams. So that's just going to be fun. So there's going to be prizes like gutter ball, best costume. It is a cartoon theme, so each team will be dressed in some type of cartoon theme. So it should be very entertaining. We'll be sure to take lots of pictures and show you the following week. So, all right, awesome. All right, buyer needs. Does anybody have a unicorn that they're looking for? Anybody looking for something for a buyer that they can't find?
Yes.
Okay.
I need a house that backs up to Lake Fluke without a road or any obstruction in the way. Literally back up to Lake.
You might be going door knocking.
I am going door knocking.
Okay.
There's 2 streets.
All right. Anything else?
I need a house.
Okay.
On it's probably going to take an acre. It could be a little less, but it has to have a big extra garage. It has to be at least 30. I'd say 30.
Garage or the house?
House.
Okay.
The garage needs to be a place where the tandem situation.
Okay.
So.
Anybody have new listings?
I have it coming soon. Georgetown, very office. Oh, I think that's right. And it's got the lower HOA.
Oh,
which is
okay.
important. Very
Awesome.
And that's one of the prettiest. Very sought after.
What's the price?
Any other coming soons or new listings?
I have a lease listing.
Okay.
In Sonoma.
Okay.
It's it's 1943 square feet, 3 bedrooms and a dedicated office, and $1,800 a month, and wants a 2-year lease.
And I do have one. Probably the beginning of October. It's a condo in Ashton Woods, about 1,500 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2 baths.
Do you know price?
Not yet.
Okay. All right, anyone else? Fire needs, new listings. Judy.
I think I talked about this last week, but maybe some of these people weren't. In Logan Plateau, which is adjacent to Berry, 201 JB Terrace. And it's a single story. And it's 3,300. And it has a pool, and it's a corner lot. It has a 3-car garage. It has a beautiful kitchen, wonderful inside utility room, huge pantry, everything we all want. Divided bedroom plan, $558. And that's lower than the tax appraisal.
All right, Bruce, do you want to say anything about compliance and command?
Just that, well, no major changes. So as of today, right this moment, business as usual with using .loop, and we're still in .loop. You should have I see a lot of you have done this with me, but done at least the first phase of DocuSign where you connect it, create the account and connect it. You do all that through command. Takes maybe 10-15 minutes, maybe not even that. And then you're ready for once DocuSign has all their stuff ready for us. So that's just where we're at right now, kind of holding until we know more.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Bruce.
Yep.
Okay, so I just want to let you know, for those of you who don't know, we're having a design contest. So if you go into Command Designs and you design some kind of open house flyer, it could be whatever you want, it could be some kind of marketing for you, and you post it on our Facebook or our Instagram page with the hashtag KWRR Designs. You can post as many as you like. It's running to the end of the month. The winner is going to be chosen by someone that was at Mega Camp on the designs panel, so it's completely, what's the word I'm looking for?
Unbiased.
Thank you. It's completely unbiased. It's not anybody from this office is going to be judging that. $100 gift card is the prize, and as of right now, from what I've seen, we only have one agent in this office that submitted a design, so she's currently winning.
Oh, Robert Fisher, you know.
Okay.
He should be winning.
Well, I don't know if he's playing, so you got to play to win, right? So, okay. Yeah. So anyway, this is just an opportunity for you to. The thought is so you'll get in there and start kind of playing with it, and you know, and you can post as many as you like. So yes.
Can I make a comment on that? I'm gonna touch back. Robert Fisher might have an advertising company. Yet all the designs in KW in the design platform are built by professional people who know what they're doing as far as designs go. And then you just take that, make it your own, and enter the contest. And then the other piece of that is they have a set amount of designs that are in there, and they're actively watching those. And the ones that people aren't using, they're going to get rid of those and add different ones. And then this will be an ongoing thing. So when the fads in design change, so to speak, the way, the new cool thing, our designs will start showing up in those types of formats. So it's anyways.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what Bruce is saying is that in 5 minutes, you could probably make a design better than a professional advertiser could and win $100 for 5 minutes of your time.
Yeah, and it's got to go in the
on the Facebook page or on Instagram.
Color.
Yeah, on our Facebook. Yeah, and just hashtag it KWRR Designs.
It has to go on.
Or the Facebook page. Those are the two places. You get your choice. Or you can put it on both. That would probably be great if you did it on both. All right. So the next thing we have, right, is it's from Mega Camp. It's Gary Keller, and he's talking about the Millionaire combination. I gave you the slides so you can make notes if you want to make notes, or if you just want to remember what we're talking about. It is about 35 minutes long, so looking at the clock, we're probably going to go 5 minutes over. So if you can stay, it would probably be worth your while to stay 5 minutes late if you can. So, and then if we, yes.
Did you say where to send that design? Did you tell?
Yeah.
It's
either, our Facebook page, which is Keller Williams Realty Round Rock,
okay,
or Instagram page, which is KW Round Rock.
Yeah, but you have to use the hashtag KWRR Designs,
yes,
and then we can see it.
Yeah. And so, all right, cool. All right, well, we're gonna get started with this. So, how do I get it?
Wait.
Okay.
It's online, yeah.
Okay.
Not embedded. Have to think.
It's up on the board right there.
Oh.
That ain't it. It didn't copy.
RR design.
Gotta log in. This isn't public information. Of course. Let me try it now that I'm logged in. Open. There we go. Didn't work. Okay.
Okay.
Well, let me show you where it is on Canva Connect. So if I come in here, type in cam 6, not sick. 6. It's called the 6 pillars, right?
Yeah. I have it.
Okay, it'll show up here. It's looking at 6 personal perspectives.
So it's
Let's go video.
I'm trying to think.
6 pillars.
If you just
6
go
pillars. I'll know the it's on the second or third page last time I looked for it.
Right, there it is.
It's the think like a CEO is the title. So if you do a search, do make it think like a CEO.
All right. So Jay and I wanted to this is our time every year Mega Camp. We just want to talk to you for a few minutes. We got all the boring stuff out of the way. But I hope that you appreciate the fact that we're at least wanting to tell you. We're wanting to share with you not only what we think the market's doing, but also what we think is happening in your industry. So we're going to switch gears now. The first thing, we're going to cover a couple of topics real quick. The first message we want to give you is we want you to start thinking like a CEO. In fact, we actually have started a podcast. Yep, there you go. In order to help you do this, right? So the first thing we want to talk about is think directly like a CEO. And when you look at a CEO, there are 3 main ways that they think. They create energy, they engage talent, and they own results. Now, when we say create energy, what we mean is that they literally provide purpose and they provide a plan, right? But the reason why we chose energy, the word energy is it should feel alive. It should feel exciting. Everyone should come into work with you and go, we have energy about what we're doing. If the energy isn't there, then the CEO isn't doing their job. And by the way, let me back up for a second. When I say think like a CEO, by the way, you could put in there think like a parent, think like a spouse, think like a dog owner. You can put anything you want in there. Think like a mega agent. These 3 ways to think applies to any of those, by the way. It doesn't apply just to, quote, being a CEO, right? When we say
leadership, it's about leadership. We all get to be leaders in our own life.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So that's what create energy means. The second one is engage talent. And when we say, we could have said hires talent. We could have said goes out and lead generates for talent. But the word engage is such a wonderful word because it's more than that. Engage means you have a relationship with. It means you're connected to. It doesn't mean you just found someone. It means you found someone, you built a relationship, and you stay in a relationship in a connected way, right?
And not all the talent is hired. Sometimes they're partners, sometimes they're independent contractors, sometimes they're vendor partners. They are all people that you can engage with your purpose and your plan. Some will work for you, some will work with you.
Well, that's right. And the last one is own the results. And understand we could have just said have results. We could have said be accountable to results. But the word own is really important. Number one, because we needed an O word for CEO.
We really spent some time with the source too, didn't we?
Yeah, actually, yes. And we were going, this is how this works, right? And all of a sudden, it wasn't me, in the room, it was said, what about the word own? And we went, oh my gosh, that's absolutely correct. You own the outcome. And when you own the outcome, it doesn't mean that you're just accountable for results. It means you understand your pro forma. It means you understand the market. You understand your money. You understand the flow of expenses and income. And it means you understand how you got to that result. You own everything about the result. You got me? And one of the biggest challenges I think that real estate agents have is they don't create energy in their business. They don't engage with the people around them in a connected way in order to support their business going to the next level. And they don't really understand all the ins and outs of what causes the business to come in and how the income flows out through expenses. And as a result, they can't own it because they don't really understand it. Now, just for the fun of it, you could say, create energy in my marriage, engage my spouse, and own the results of our relationship. Do you see that?
Yes.
You could say, create energy around parenting and with my children. Engage my child and all the people around my child so that we're all connected as a tribe to help our child have the best life possible. And we own the life of our child and how they're doing. Does that make sense? There you go. Now, this simple formula transcends just being a CEO.
And they are a little bit like dominoes, right? When you create the energy, it becomes easier to engage the talent. When you have the energy and you're surrounded by talent, the results come by easier, and we all own it together. They're all very connected.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful you said that, because if you don't create that energy, you don't get the talent.
No.
And that's a big issue.
They're not just joining you for a paycheck. They're joining you for the purpose and the plan. They want to know where you're going, the vision and the mission.
Yeah.
And that actually attracts a lot more people to you than a paycheck.
Well, no one succeeds alone, no one fails alone. And if you don't create energy, you haven't set the table up to attract the best people in your life. And we understand that. All right? We already covered all that.
Well, yeah, what do we mean by it? We spend a lot of time coming up with the P's, right? Because that last one, you nailed it with charity to philanthropy, by the way, right? Purpose, plan, people, profit, philanthropy. I just want to point out one more thing. Your purpose now connects to the end again. At the end of the day, you own the results of fulfilling the purpose of the organization.
Yeah.
I remember Mo once told me, I was probably in the company for 6 months. I said, Mo, I just heard you pray for profit. Tell me about that. And she said, the purpose of a business is profit, but its mission can be something else. And if you don't fulfill your purpose, right, you never get to do the mission. And so they're very connected.
Yep. By the way, all these slides are available to everybody.
Yeah, they're all going to be available to download on KW Connect, and you can all get it all there so you can share it with your team at home.
Yep. All right. So the last comment that we want to make is that you think quantitatively and qualitatively, and they're not the same thing. So when we think about quantitative is measurable in numbers, right? Did I hit my numbers? Do I have the right number of people? Do I have the right number of leads? Am I spending the right amount of money? Blah, blah, blah. That's the quantitative side of your business. The qualitative side of your business says, are we having fun? Are we having fun? Are we fulfilling our higher calling in life through the work that I do professionally, right? It's a whole other level. Are my people having the lives they want to lead in business with me? So the two go hand in hand, and a lot of people simply spend the overwhelming majority of their time just looking at the quantitative side of life instead of the qualitative side.
When you only look at the quantitative, you get things like the Wells Fargo fiasco, where you have all of their people inventing bank accounts. You have Enron. You have people that are so focused on the numbers, they miss the bigger picture of why they're in business.
Yeah.
So you've got to have the two together.
Yeah, the numbers matter. Don't think for a second that we don't believe that numbers matter. They matter. But you can't forget the qualitative side in the pursuit of the number.
Okay, just never do that. Right, life's too short. All right. So the next topic we want to cover with you simply is first how to think, right? And we want you to think like a CEO. We want you to think like a leader and bring leadership into your life. The second thing we want to talk about is the journey of value. And this is an important conversation. In our minds, the journey of value is you promote your value, you provide value, and then you prove it on the backside. So when we talk about promoting your value, we're talking about owning a position of value and then marketing and presenting it to your customers.
You said it a million times. Find a place where you can be number one. Figure it out. I'm number one on this block, in this cul-de-sac, in this neighborhood. However small you have to go, find your value proposition where you can be number one, and that's what you promote.
Yes. The second one is what we call the 6 pillars of value, which is information, education, advice, service, connection to other service providers, and then affinity, meaning that they feel a part of your community of customers in a special way.
Membership or a tribe.
Yeah, that's right. Right. So with information, there are levels of facts and data. With education, there are levels of expertise, right? There's low level of expertise, and then there's high level of expertise in a variety of areas, right? Their advice is multi-levels of professional counsel, really okay counsel, good counsel, amazing counsel, and
tell them about the trumpet vine, because that illustrates all 3 of those levels. Was this at John's house? The trumpet vine, is that what it's called?
Yeah. Well, you can sell it. Go ahead.
All right, if I mess it up, John, just shout it out.
Right there.
But basically pointed out there was this vine, and it's actually like bamboo. It's going to spread everywhere under the ground. And once it starts, it's really, really hard to eradicate.
Yep.
And so, first off, the person provided the information, right? That's what that is. They educated them on the cost of having it, and your advice is to get rid of it. And the comment John made is like, I feel sorry for whoever buys this house if that doesn't get solved, because they won't know, if you don't have the right level of information and education and advice, you don't solve that problem. You just keep wondering why this vine pops up all over your yard for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it struck me, he was telling me that we were looking at his yard, which looked good by the way, son. Oh, you're welcome. But then he said, the problem is that it's underneath the ground, it pops up everywhere. He says, boy, I really feel sorry for the next person who would buy this house. And immediately, in the next day, Jay and I were working, and I told him that conversation, and I said, that's a high level of expertise. The understanding that if you sold a home and it had trumpet vines, if you actually understood what it was, you would feel obligated to tell your buyer, let me tell you what you're looking at, right? Yes, the seller would not want you to know. There are levels of facts and data and levels of expertise, and there are levels of professional counsel, right? Yeah. With service, there are a variety of different service offerings and levels of proficiency, right? With connection, there are a variety of different service providers and levels of proficiency. And in affinity, there are a variety of access and benefits and different levels of importance that you place on your customers. So, here's the point we want to make, and that is when any level is taken away, we want you to go to the next level. So the real estate industry, let's take information. The real estate industry used to say, look, we have MLS and you don't, so we have all the information and you don't. You'll have to hire me to get access to that information in order for you to find the best home and or for us to price your home appropriately. As the world takes away that information from you, if you don't raise your game on information and facts and data, you do realize that you're going to have a challenge competing with someone who just provides that at no charge. So that's just a simple example.
And I would just say, you're going to hear this in the panels today, that it's a theme that kept coming up, and understanding where the value could be. There's like 2 people we'll interview that went hyper-local, because as much as big data can provide about a neighborhood or a town, they don't get to walk into that bedroom and see the view from that window. They don't know who the architect is who built it. All of the nuances of a neighborhood that we understand, and we can still bring that value until that gets taken away, then we have to find the next level. I remember I was telling you, we were looking at our first investment home and we were working with Bob Guest, And we're walking up to the house, and he goes, well, I know the layout of this house, and he probably looked at the MLS, so this is before, they had the whole layouts. And he said, see those initials in the sidewalk? That's this architect. He built almost all of these homes, and he described the house before we walked in. Because he was an expert in that area. We can always go deeper in providing information, services, and advice.
Well, I think the industry, with what's happening, is now calling on the real estate agent to go to a higher calling in terms of these areas, Jay.
That's right.
And if it's all just entry-level information and entry-level education and bare bones advice and service at just a bare function level, and you provide service providers based on the fact that you like them, and your affinity doesn't even exist. They don't even feel a part of something bigger. You're gonna get challenged, right? Well, the last one is when you provide the value, there should be the proof that it exists, and that would be in evidence, in ratings, in reviews. Right, and you should collect those.
Can I just say there's 2 layers of, go ahead, you finish and then we'll go back. I was gonna say, you could also say this is for us servicing our customers. It's also the value we bring to the people who are in business with us.
Oh, yeah.
When I was looking at this last night, I kept thinking, this is also a roadmap for how we stay in business with the talent who joins our team.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you would want to be able to show testimonials and reviews that people's careers grew by being with you versus not.
Yeah. And you could take the same list, it would apply, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure would. All right, so we were in the writing room, and as we were putting the finishing touches on the pillars, I went to the flip chart and I said, well, what if we put it this way? What if we called information and education knowledge, and what if we created service and connection and affinity as action, and we put advice in the middle, because you advise up and down. They said, that's cool, I like that. Where are you going? I said, I'm going here. I said, you can take those and divide those into thirds. No matter what you charge, the consumer is placing a third of what you charge on each of those categories. And then I did this. And I said, you do understand that the first place that the world came to attack the value proposition and the compensation of a real estate agent is they're trying to take away your information and education. This is why from this stage I would continually go, look, I'm not opposed to you buying leads from Zillow. You do understand you're sending money to an organization who absolutely would prefer that you not exist. And that's not a statement of a pro or con on Zillow themselves, right? You did notice they didn't buy a booth this year, though.
Yeah. Well, they came out and they got, with the iBuyers, they got pretty honest about what their business they're in now.
Well, I think what happened is that their former CEO lost his job because he actually thought that they were just information and education. And then they fired him so they could tell the truth.
Yep. They're all in.
They're all in. Yep. So that's the first place that they're coming. By the way, now they're coming for that. And this is exactly why you saw Zillow buy a mortgage company. This is why you hear Redfin saying that we're putting a lot of emphasis on our ancillary services. Listen, pay attention. What they're telling you is they're going to go find consumer value propositions that will exceed what you offer.
Started with Amazon, we have the largest supply of books, the endless bookshelf, right? And then they start recommending books to you. And now they have Amazon Prime, right, that drives all of our credit card bills up. But they start looking at it, and now they're offering us all kinds of services, right? They make more money selling us electronics than they did books, and they'll keep adding to that. That is the game plan for owning the consumer.
Sure, and when all of those organizations, from Open House to Zillow to any of those, and you can read them, right, Redfin, any of them, they all, and I'm not picking on them at all. I think I'm just repeating exactly what you've been reading as well. And that is when they make the statements, no, we think the real estate agent's going to be in business. We think everyone's going to still want a real estate agent. What they don't talk about is what they think the agent will be paid. And if you understand that their goal is to take away bare minimum of knowledge and take away the bare minimum of actions, You can take whatever you charge right now and drop it by 2/3, and that's their intent. Now, listen, that's a sobering thought, isn't it? So let's just go back. Let's go back to this. Those pillars of value, we're not kidding you. If you're at the base level of information and facts and data to your customers, you're going to get paid less. If you're at the bare level of expertise around that information, and your advice is at a bare minimum. In other words, you're reading the information at the same time your customer is, and it's the first time for both of you. You, as an individual, are in trouble.
Well, your advice will be limited by your information and education. They are tied together.
Yeah, exactly. The same with service, right? If your job is to open a door and let someone just pick a house, they're going to pay you $25 a door to unlock that door. Okay? So if that's what you think you are, and by the way, you owe however you behave today largely due to the people that came before you, because they had a lock on information. And because they had a lock on information, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, they controlled. And they didn't have to be that awesome and amazing. They just had to be as good as or better than the person next to them. And as long as you were as good or better than the person next to you, then you could get all the business that you could handle. And nobody was innovatively trying to provide the consumer a higher experience. And what's happening today is they are. They absolutely are. Now, let's go back. So information. With artificial intelligence, one of the reasons why, and you're not going to like us, you're not, but at some point we're going to require, within 48 hours of a contract being written, we're going to require that you put the bare minimum data into sales pipeline. We're going to require it. Hang on. Why? Why? Because later, and we can already read real estate contracts in 3 states, and by next summer we'll be able to read them in all states and Canada. Now understand that what that means is when a contract would come in, just like in a PDF, it can read it, and then it can come back. And what we want AI to do is tell us what are the odds of that deal being signed. What if you got a contract and it said you have an 82% chance of this one being accepted?
And here would be the 3 things we would recommend you change to increase the odds.
And by the way, that's new information, isn't it? Say yes. Yes, it is. It is. And is that a different level of advice? Say yes. There you go. So the whole reason why, I can go back to the slides on the platform if we need to talk about it again, but the whole thing that we've been fighting for you is to get to a day where your level of information and your education and your advice exceeds that of your competitors and anyone else, literally, who's trying to provide information to your consumers. Does that make sense?
You're already seeing it, Gary. It's not even have to wait for the AI. One of the reasons we designed the consumer experience around neighborhoods is nobody else was. Now we have that data, so it's not. I remember the first time I looked at homes and I was looking at MLS zones. It wasn't even by zip code. And it made total sense to the realtor. It made no sense to me. But what the consumer understands is the neighborhoods.
Yes.
And so we're now providing a different level of information to educate them on than anybody else is providing. Okay. You're to see a theme here throughout everything that we're building with tech.
Okay, so now you understand the partnership. So what you realize is that because of the need for a platform to provide that level of information for you, that you have to partner with somebody around your data in order for your data then to be used to provide a higher level of information and education that your competitor can't provide them. Does that now make sense to you? Yes or no? Because if you say no, I'm going to stand here and repeat myself over and over and over and over and over. That's the battle. And the thing that excites us is we're there. We're there. We are literally in the thick of this on your behalf. Should you choose not to be in the journey with us, in time, I feel sorry for you. I just don't know where you're going to get that information. I don't know where you're going to get it. See, everyone thought, I'll say this, we'll move on. The world thought that when we said information and data, they were talking about just the list price and the sold price. Folks, no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the information that is generated every second by someone's behavior around something. Again, understanding that when you use command to generate your automated marketing plans, the platform knows which plans are getting better results than others. Right? I can see a day, somewhere in the next 2 years, you take a listing, you put in the information, and immediately command comes back and says, through AI, and says, for that price range, for that property right now, there are 4 plans that are having the best impact on sales price and how fast to sell. Well, that's not a complicated thing if you have a platform and you have enough data that is being generated. That's not complicated. What scared us is if Zillow turned around and sent that to the consumer.
Yeah.
And then you go, hold it, what do I do? And then you realize in that moment, that's why I said, quit playing with these people. Stop it. Because if it's a Remax that's doing it, God bless them. They're in the same boat you're in. If it's Coldwell Banker, God bless them. They're in the same boat you're in. But if it's these other organizations, you do realize that their goal is to get those data experiences in order to build information and new experiences that would rival what you could do. Does that now make sense to you?
Yeah.
Good. It's really important. So here's the thing. At the end of the day, do we believe that those X's are going to happen? Well, they're trying to, but we believe actually that our battle is to make those X's go away. We wake up every morning and that's our only goal, by the way. And we can't do it with anything other than technology. We need the technology. And we need everyone playing the game in the platform in order to elevate the information and education that you can provide your customers at a level that nobody can compete. That makes sense?
It's a partnership. I mean, trial and error is still here. It used to be us learning from our mistakes, but if we do this together, we can learn collectively from everyone's experience. That's what this platform does. That's how smart plans show up as the number one. We get to learn from each other. The more we use it together, the faster we learn together. It is a true partnership.
Yeah, the real estate agent who's going to win at the highest level is the real estate agent that elevates their information and education and their advice around that and their services and their connection to service providers and their affinity and advice around that. That's who's going to win at the highest level and have the greatest career possible. And that, by the way, is our agenda. You know, the truth is,
we want it to be you.
We want it to be you. Yes, we do. All right. So here's the last one. So switching gears one other spot, and that is, again, if you've hung out with Jay and I at all, you know that we subscribe to simplicity. We just do, and we subscribe to focus. And so we wanted to end this conversation around a simple notion of business by the number and success by the skill. And here's the way we think about it, and that is every business has a profit goal. Every profit goal has a combination of numbers to unlock the profit, and every combination has a key number that sets the combination into action. That right there is your combination, right? We'll get to that in a second. On the flip side is success by the skill. And that is, we present our way to success. Presentations are a series of scripts strung together. A script is a way to say something powerfully and purposefully. Thus, we script our way to success in the industry. A great script presenter is the result of great preparation. Right? This is an industry of words. This is an industry of information and decision making. It is an industry that is delivered verbally to someone, which essentially means this is an industry of script. Now, when we say script, we don't mean scripted. We mean that you learn a script and then you internalize it, which allows you to customize it. So we do not believe in the idea that you rotely always just say the same thing. We do believe, however, that you understand the decision-making areas that people fall into, and that you have scripts that help people make decisions through those decision points, and then you use those scripts as an adult, right, by mixing and matching in however way you want to do it, to ultimately present back to your customer the best way to explain something, thus for them to make the best decision possible.
When you put in the preparation, Gary, is how you get out of feeling scripted. The more you practice, the more you script and role play, the more this feels like jazz versus just memorization and recitation.
Well, you
get to appropriately say a purposeful thing, the best way to say it at the right moment, so it always feels appropriate.
Yeah.
The other person never feels like they're being scripted.
Right.
And that's always a matter of that very last step. When you prepare and you work on your skills, the skills for the market we're heading toward, all of that every day, that's how that shows up. And those are the best salespeople on earth.
That's right. And I would say you and I are good examples. I mean, we definitely believe in scripts, but I don't think that I've ever felt like you were scripting me.
Thank you.
All right, so here's the combination, and it's called the Millionaire combination. By the way, it exists in the MREA. You just didn't think of it exactly this way. The numbers have changed slightly given that the world has changed slightly. But here's what it means. It means to net $1 million, you have to have 350 closings at an average commission of $7,500. Which means if you're 50-50, you're going to need to have 175 listings sold. In order to have 175 listings sold at a 75% conversion rate, you're going to need 233 listings taken. At a conversion rate of 75%, you're going to need to go on 311 listing appointments. That would be 26 appointments a month. That would be 7 appointments a week. Your job is to go on 7 appointments a week. And for us, and this is, I
love about that is, everybody saw those numbers and they thought, oh Lord, he's going to make us memorize this. And we are. All you have to do is this. At an average commission of about $7,150, you'll make $1 million if you just do that last step. That's the number. That's why you didn't say business by the numbers. It's business by the number, and that's 7 appointments. You make that your battle.
Well, in a little while, we're going to have a panel up here, and we're going to talk about the expenses that can destroy that formula.
Oh yeah.
Right? That's the best practices. If you don't stick with best practices, this formula doesn't work. My point of all of this is, you wake up every day and your goal is this week is to go on 7 appointments, and your entire business, your entire thinking is about how do I go generate 7 appointments, and that's it. The thing that and I'll end on this note, the thing that kind of drives me crazy a little bit is that too many people settle, Jay. They settle. They're settlers. They're settlers, they just settle. And what I mean by that is when they wake up in the morning, instead of trying to live the best life possible, they don't have a plan to do that. And the prescription that you and I, for over a decade, have tried to prescribe is think big, aim high, and have an action plan that even if you got half of it, it doesn't matter what piece you got, but if you woke up every day in order to try to make that happen and never settled for anything less, you never stopped trying to do the best at it, whatever you get will be magnificent, right? It'll be magnificent. So when you think about a real estate career, and I'm talking to an agent, they say my goal is, I just need to get 2 listings this month or whatever. I think to myself, okay, I understand what they just told me, and that is financially, they need to get 2 listings this month in order to hit their minimum that they need to hit. But why would you be talking that way? You would never talk that way. That should never come out of your mouth. What should come out of your mouth is, I need 7 appointments this week. And I need to behave in a manner in order to get 7 appointments this week, right? I see a lot of people shuffling the chairs around on the deck and having the same experience over and over and thinking that they're doing something that will alter it, and it won't. I tell you what will alter it is write the word 7 up there on the wall, and every day ask yourself, is today going to generate an appointment for me? And if it's not, then you should ask the question, well, what do I need to do in order to do that? And then whatever the answer to that is, that becomes your priority for the day. If you do that as a professional, you will have the biggest life possible. The biggest life possible. If you don't do that, that means you've settled. And when we were doing the one thing, I jokingly, said, yeah, well, this is like, turning to someone and saying, I love you, let's get married, but I need to tell you that I'm an average person, I have average goals, I have average aspirations, so we're going to have an average life, right? We're going to have average kids, we're going to eat average food, we're going to drive an average car, live in an average house, we're going to take average walks, we'll have average vacations, we'll wear average clothes, we'll drink average beverages. We're going to have an average life, and it's going to be awesome. Will you marry me?
That was a little weird having him look at me and say that. I'm glad you didn't get down like this. It's good. It's good. But it's true.
I was internally. That's it. And I get, I get asked on a regular basis, so what's the secret to success? And I come back to one phrase: don't settle. Don't settle.
Love it.
All right, there.
We went way over, but did any takeaways, like just 3 takeaways from that, or otherwise known as ahas? I mean, I have like one really big one that comes to mind, and that's the 7 appointments a week. I mean, that's just like what you work towards.
And one of the ways to me, I mean, it just went through my mind, everywhere we go, everything we do with our children, our grandchildren, there's always those opportunities, right, to talk to people. And John Maxwell said today, I don't know if you listened to him, but he talks about leadership, and he said, it's all about loving people. And we're hearing that in our church. We're to love people. Love God, love people, and help others do the same. And we can spread that throughout our culture with Keller Williams.
Right.
And when we love people, we're going to talk to them about what we do and what they want to do, and if we can help them with their real estate needs. And, people get to know you by that wherever you go and wherever you're connected with. I mean, how many people are you going to see at this football game?
Right. It's also about I always say don't be an undercover agent. Like, I sold a house to a lady that does my hair because every time I sit in her chair, I talk about real estate. Or she asks me, how's your day or what's going on?
And you just care about her.
Right.
And she knows what you do.
Right, because I'm not the only realtor that sits in her chair. Right. But she's the one that she bought her house through. I'm the one that bought it. Yes. Anyway, yes, were you going to say something?
Yeah, the thing that struck me was on the opposite end of the spectrum, down in the technical leads. That was when he said, we have to read contracts in 50 states and Canada. And I said, that's right, not just Texas, which explains why they didn't make the end of the month deadline. They got to figure out not just Texas contracts, they got to figure out how to read all of them in the whole country and the whole continent. And from a technical standpoint, like to know how the heck, they must have a lot of guys doing that. Or
Yeah.
maybe they've got some kind of computer system that knows how to read. I'd like to know technical details about that. Because those contracts change, they're gonna have to keep up with it.
Yep,
Okay.
that'll probably, yeah.
That's a
Judy,
huge technical
This
challenge.
one's for
right
you
there.
and I. My daughter and I have had this discussion many times because she's very high tech, but she's not really a people person. And so I've said to her, she says, well, I don't know why you're still working. I said, I love it. I love the people. I love real estate. I love being in houses. But I said, you don't understand my value. I've been in real estate 33 years. Do you understand? I've seen most of these subdivisions built. I know the good builders. I know the bad builders. I know the great locations. I know the problems. And new agents don't know that. That's my value. And she said, I never looked at it that way. I've never read that anywhere. But he said that.
Right.
We have, we need to become more advisors.
Right. Well, that's why we like it when you guys show up for things. And we're continually trying to give you education, and when you're sitting at home and not.
This should be overflowing.
I know, I was thinking the same thing.
I know.
I was thinking the same thing, but it's like Katie and I, when we talk about real estate, talks about subdivision, like, I have to tell you, we got this discussion because I sold the cheapest builder in Sendero Springs for the highest price in the subdivision. And she said, what's the big deal about that? Okay, so you sold the highest price in the subdivision. I said, but you don't get it. We sold the cheapest, crummiest builder for the highest price because other agents don't know the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I'm sorry we ran like 15 minutes late, but I hope you got some value out of that.
Thank you.
Yes. So we're gonna try to bring some more stuff from Maybe Camp in that's relevant.
That was awesome. Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
And Judy,
I watched
agree
it
that
live. That's not live, and it's just a good refresher.
Yeah.
Yeah.